welcome. Today I am going to spend time with somebody who can quote in his parliamentary debates Keats, Shelley and Byron and Orwell, but somehow his party in Kerala is locked in a friction which is perhaps unprecedented in the annals of Indian democratic history. Sitaram Yechury, Secretary General CPM. Why is it that Kerala is being called the killing fields of Kerala? The BJP is up in arms, the RSS says it is taking body blows.
This is a period of what is called the post-truth, where the actual reality is not talked about, but you create a mythical reality. And that is exactly the nature of, it's a post-truth campaign being conducted by the RSS. Yes, there have been killings in Kerala, but who started these killings? Over 200 of my comrades have died from 2000 onwards in these 16 years at the hands of the RSS. Even this current spate of violence, the spiral that is unleashed, began the day the election results were announced. The victory procession of our chief, who would become the chief minister, Pinarayi Vijayan, the RSS threw bombs, killing one of our comrades, injuring many. Some of them are still in jail, recovering. And that is how the spiral began. Now, once you start a violent spiral of this nature, it has its own logic. And a lot of unruly elements also entered into the fray. And that is what is happening.
Sita, they are throwing statistics. They are saying 14 people since you have come to power have been killed of the RSS and the BJP. Is it statistics versus statistics?
There is statistics versus statistics. I'll give you a list of 16. No, does that prove anything? That's why when our government took the initiative, called an all-party meeting, called the RSS to it, and saying that you settle it through the talks. Don't encourage this sort of a violent spiral that goes out of control. And that is exactly what they are doing, because please understand, the entire methodology of the RSS, not only in Kerala but anywhere in the country, has always been through generating such terror and violence and thereby trying to expand their social mass base. That has been their tactics all through. And that is why in Kerala, if you know, it all started, I think, it started earlier, but the flashpoint was in 1971, when you had the communal riots in Thalassery. And Justice Joseph Viyathil was appointed, and the Judicial Commission gave its report, where it squarely blames the RSS for having engineered those riots on the basis of fabricated stories that they spread. And in fact, it exonerates the CPIM, saying that there has not been a single instance where the CPIM is indulged in violence. On the contrary, the CPIM leaders were trying to pacify and restore peace. Now, this is a judicial commission appointed by the then government. And this is the report, and from there begins the spiral, and this is continuing till date. Therefore, this...
Sita, the crisis is that suddenly we find what was happening in a Kannur theatre is now being replicated in Trivandrum. You have a BJP RSS worker who is coming back from his shakha is attacked. The BJP is saying that the CPM is now targeting workers beyond the theatre, which was the usual theatre of clashes between the two.
Exactly, but who took it beyond the theatre again? It was the RSS soon after the election results came. For the RSS and the BJP, these election results were a big disappointment. They had targeted to enter at least 8 MLAs. In the eventuality, they got only 1. All the allegations are flying around, saying that there was also a clandestine deal between some sections of the UDF. No, leave all that apart. But this whole spiral was started by the RSS and started beyond Kannur. The attacks on the Chief Minister's constituency, later in Kollam, in Thrissur, various other places.
But Sita, I agree with what you're saying, but it is also that there is an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth happening. Isn't that also true?
No, unfortunately.
It's not happening with the Congress. You see, the Congress and you see, we have seen a spate of I think, calming down when the Congress was ruling at the center and the UDF was there in power in Kerala. There was a certain calming of tempers. But now that you are in power, you may say that the BJP and RSS are getting more aggressive. The RSS and BJP say that you are getting more aggressive. Eventually, what you are saying is that who started it means somewhere within the CPM also there is that if they choose to lift the sword or the stick, you will give it back in the same tone.
That is the only way you survive.
Is it a matter for survival?
In a situation like this, no, the point is the instance you quoted about an RSS worker coming. Now, the people who are involved in this attack have been arrested. And all of them, this was a gang warfare. It had nothing to do with CPM, RSS. And the same person who was killed, unfortunately. I mean, there are photographs of it in the social media, with the Congress chief and with the BJP chief together. Now, the point is, if it's a gang warfare, it always happens, you see, unfortunately, in our country. When you start a spiral of violence, as I told you earlier, various elements also enter. And various scores are sought to be settled in the name of cover of this political violence.
You are saying that
no, but
when it comes to violence from the RSS, it is the RSS. When it is the violence from the CPM, it is the lumpen elements which take over.
No, the RSS also lumpen element.
You will say that lumpen element on both the sides, they start seconding scores.
I mean, others start taking advantage. But one thing please remember, when you started saying why it didn't happen under Congress, politically for the RSS, the left is their main ideological enemy, what they consider as, a rival, enemy, etc.
Yes, because Kerala is supposed to be one seat which they will dislodge because of the left or the centre politics.
Correct. So it is a direct, and Tripura and Kerala, they directly confront the CPM. And for them, ideologically, in order to say that they have defeated the left, is an important political issue. Why are they targeting Kerala now? Congress is not so much of their enemy. In today's Lok Sabha, reportedly there are 112 BJP MPs who were once congressmen. So that is not really a big problem for them, the Congress.
Because they can subsume the Congress more easily.
And this is something that's come down in our history between the Hindu Mahasabha and the Congress during the freedom struggle itself. That's a separate issue. But the question is, right now, this violence and the spree of violence is part of the strategy of the RSS. Please remember, the northern Kerala is an area where there is a very high concentration of Muslim population. And wherever there is a high concentration... It is not just the Muslims, Sita. It is also that it is the seat of your tallest leaders in the party in Kerala. Correct.
It is also both the turf of your... it's the heart of your politics in Kerala.
Precisely.
That the Chief Minister comes from there. Malabar always had a history. It has a history, and that is why you have to protect it zealously.
That is what we are trying to do. You see, please understand, in all these days, because of left politics in Kerala, what Vivekananda once described Kerala society as a madhouse of caste. That society being transformed to have the highest human development indices, comparable better than some of the European countries. I mean, how does that happen? But for this cultural amity, but for this social harmony. You see, I mean, this is the only place in India where you can find a mosque, a church and a temple side by side without any friction. Without any friction. But then that friction is created. And you will not let it go unanswered. You will not let it go unanswered, because a truth has to be... The answer for truth is the truth. It is not a question of answering back. It is a question of saying how do you maintain peace and normalcy. Once you settle... There is one issue. The CPM in Kerala has been a muscular party. It's not like anywhere else. It's not like I've seen leaders of the CPM in UP. It has a history of muscular politics. We remember MB Raghavan. You know what happened when he was addressing, he split away, how the CPM went after him, the famous incident in which 12-odd people were killed when police firing was there. The history of politics in this region and CPM does have muscular politics. I'm not saying that you are the hostile ones. I'm saying it has got a bit of muscular element to it. You see, it's not a muscular element, it's an element of self-defense. If you are being attacked like this, though if you want to restore peace, the other side must either politically understand and stop this. If they don't, you are unleashing a spiral of violence that just goes out of hand of anybody. You say in those days,
MBR also did that?
No, that whole case is showing that is not a case of any political vendetta.
No, because they always said self-defense.
No.
When the firing happened, 12 people died.
Yeah.
Your own student wing students had died in the police firing.
I know, but that incident also, finally, that is being, the case is being heard out, the judicial case, but it's not as though it was a political rivalry that the CPM unleashed. Let the judicial process be over, you will know.
In the later stages, when he was not a minister, the way he was dragged from his house, taken to a police station, it's all recorded history in Kerala. I'm not saying that you are violent. I'm saying that the CPM in Kerala pursues politics with a certain degree of muscular.
You see, here I can show you photographs of 200 of our people who have been killed.
And the BJP has a similar
thing. Now the point is that if they are going to attack us, now as I'm repeating this, once you start the spiral of violence, it has its own logic that goes beyond either the RSS or the CPI. But you don't start that process unless there is a political motivation. And that political motivation was what we discussed just now.
How do you counter it? How do you counter it? Because the BJP, it seems, when the debate on mob lynching was going on in both in Lok Sabha, they took up a point that when it happens in XYZ part of the country, you call it mob lynching. When it happens in Kerala, you just say it's law and order.
In Kerala, it's not because of any eating beef. Mob lynching is because of your Gaurakshak Samitis and the private armies that have been unleashed now all across the country. That is what is leading to this lynching. This is a direct political war unleashed by the RSS in Kerala. And every incident starts with the RSS unleashing that violence, and that spiral goes out. How do you control it? Either
you are the state government.
I'll tell you.
You're the state government.
I'll tell you how.
There are bombs thrown at your workers. You said it. There are bullets fired at your workers. There are lathis, there are swords, and there are criminal elements on the loose. But then it is your law and order.
Correct.
Why don't you do preemptive arrest? Why don't you do preemptive cleansing so that these elements don't attack your own cadres?
That is exactly.
It is virtual admission of your own failure.
No, that is exactly what is being done when the hue and cry takes place. The RSS and the BJP have been embroiled in too many corruption cases. All that is there in Kerala in front. Violence is a method to distract attention.
Do you think the latest round of violence was because their own top leaders were in trouble?
Of course.
Are you indicating that?
I mean, very
it
clear.
was a distractive moment?
To detract the attention. To detract the attention away from that corruption and that sort of defaming that was happening in Kerala. This sort of thing is indulgent. No, that is the point. How do you solve it? Either you sit across the table and all of you take the resolve that this will not be done. That repeatedly, when we do it, the RSS keeps violating. There was a meeting yesterday. And in that meeting, I mean, if you take the resolve, it has to be implemented on the ground, no?
You see, we see Kerala can be divided into different zones in terms of castes and communities. North Kerala, the population of minorities, is that the focus? You want to retain control on it. The BJP wants to create a sense of polarization which eventually benefits the BJP not only in central and southern Kerala also. Is that what you two are fighting for?
No, what the RSS is fighting for, not the two. I'll tell you why. Because in northern Kerala, where there is a very high percentage of Muslim population, the major force there is the Muslim League. And the Muslim League is aligned with the UDF, opposite us. The turf war there, political turf war, is between the left LDF and the Muslim League. Now, BJP's entry, it tries to seek, through creating these communal tensions, to polarize the society so that it can gain.
And it may take your votes away.
Of course, I mean, they want to take our votes away. They want to do what you call a Hindu polarization versus a Muslim polarization, and that is the worst disservice you can do.
But Kerala minorities are a different minority compared to anywhere in the country.
Correct.
40% deeply entrenched. Your remittances, if you sit and start counting, coming from the Gulf, are virtually the backbone of, in a certain way, of your economy.
Correct.
So if you have this polarization going on, the battle for their votes, a certain sense of insecurity creeps in, it hurts your state economy.
That does. I mean, that is exactly the purpose. The whole purpose of the RSS BJP thing is to destabilize the LDF government. To destabilize it and you're going back to the liberation war, so to speak, of the 1950s, when the first communist government was overthrown then, was this way.
Are you taking something, thinking that radical, that today the attempt is to destabilize the state government so badly that the center can step in?
That is what I think is the blueprint. That is what they are working towards.
You mean to say they are not looking at a long-term battle to create a cadre, get their jhanda and their banner there, fight an electoral battle, get few seats in northern Kerala or say Trivandrum, or in places like Trivandrum, and then maybe have a long-term battle?
But if they had employed that approach, then it would be democratic. Fine, come and contest elections, fight, and let the people decide. But that is not it. They want the people to be polarized on the basis of communal conflict, so that will help them in their electoral battle.
But doesn't it make sense? Because last time around also, when they tied up with certain groups, it did help them. Because if you're looking at 60% minority, 40% minority votes, you're looking at 60% of majority votes.
Exactly.
That's what the aim could well be.
Exactly. It is. That is the aim. That is the aim. That is why with various groups they make the deals. They thought they'll get 8 MLAs, they got only 1. That is their actual, frustration.
One was a setback.
Yeah.
One is definitely a setback.
Yes, the name of it, and there, a large number of the UDF votes, the Congress votes, moved towards the BJP candidate.
But aren't you two helping the UDF somehow?
Right.
Because the UDF will always be able to say that when CPM comes, the RSS comes, there are two clashes, but see, you should choose better.
No, but then when the UDF comes, you compromise with the RSS. And compromise
you mean
with
the Congress compromises with the RSS?
That is what eventually, what is this arrangement saying that they'll get 8 seats? There is a section, I'm not saying there is a section doing it. So if that happens, then that will only help the polarization further.
You mean to say the Congress in Delhi will prefer the RSS to emerge as a third front,
not in Delhi.
Third alternative?
I'm not talking of Delhi. I don't think in Delhi they can afford that sort of a line.
In Kerala?
In Kerala there are sections.
In Kerala, do they want the RSS and the BJP to step in so that it helps the long term, the long term, the UDF?
You see, there are various allegations that are floating around in Kerala. That in order to ensure that the UDF government continues in Kerala, you make such deals with certain pockets in RSS. Now that statistically also can be seen. If you look at the voting pattern in various constituencies. But leave all that apart. The point at issue is a Kerala society which has been the symbol of communal harmony in the country and which has achieved such...
God's own country.
And it has achieved such very high human development indices. Do you want to disrupt it for your political gain?
So what's the solution?
Polarization?
What is the solution?
The solution is sit across the table and work.
You are talking like India and Pakistan. You are saying let our generals meet or the BSF and the Rangers meet and things can be settled.
At every level.
You in Parliament keep saying that Prime Minister should sit down with Nawaz Sharif a few days ago. Why don't you and Amit Shah sit down together?
No, in the Parliament we have suggested so many times. Call all the political parties together, sit down across the table.
All political parties? You two are killing each other. Why don't you call Amit Shah a public call today, for example, from this platform?
Well, the BJP's official position is we are not involved, it's only RSS. That is the hypocrisy.
Call the RSS?
We call.
No. The BJP is espousing the cause of the RSS. So, will you today call...
Please listen. BJP is the political arm of the RSS. Nothing less, nothing more. They are implementing that agenda. Whenever BJP is called in Kerala, they say we are not involved in the RSS, you talk to them. So the government, the CPM has talked a number of times with the RSS leadership, and one meeting happened yesterday.
Will you say today that you are open to Mohan Bhagwat coming to you and discussing this matter?
Yeah, let him. I'm perfectly open. Let him come. And the first thing is that you stop your, starting this spiral of violence. And stop that. And then the situation will be normal there.
You think, no, you're saying something important, that you as a leader of the CPM are ready to sit across with anybody, including Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief, to end this spiral of violence, because it does impact the lives of people in Kerala.
I'm definite that they will not accept such a proposal. I'm confident. Right? Let them come.
Will you sit across with, say, Amit Shah, Mohan Bhagwat, and see, let's end it. Let's fight politics as real politics.
We want peace and normalcy in Kerala. We want a direct democratic contest politically. Yes, come
And you're
there, let the people
ready. You're ready to drop the tooth for tooth and eye for eye formula.
But then the same should happen both sides.
Both sides.
That's right.
And that's your fear, that till that happens, it somehow cannot end, because no cadre is going to accept the aggression from the other.
Naturally, I mean, and that is what I said. It has its own logic. Once you start this spiral of violence, and the fact is that we've had discussions with RSS. Many times agreements have come, but then they go and violate. That is when the whole problem begins. And that is what should end.
Sitaram Yechury, thank you very much for speaking to us. That's Sitaram Yechury of the CPM saying that the logic is such, in politics, things cannot end till the philosophy that left is left and right is right, and 12 shall find a reason to meet. That's all from me.